Fuck. Welcome to the live stream. We're gonna start in 4 minutes.
So they think and they say we can make it, there's no way. Better let go, play it safe. I always find little crumbs of faith when I believe and just trust in my own self. I'm on the right track now, so come what may. And I can see our destination.
Welcome to the live stream. It is good to be back. Let me know if you can hear my voice, if there's any robot sounds, anything. You know, I think today is very special. I think a lot of everything we have built in the past, it really comes together right now. And this is what I hoped that you would be able to see with the early access product. Just how it comes together, because we have arrived at this point where I think it's probably the best thing I have ever seen in my life. So this is neural mode 1.1, and what we have done is change the way that we really look at the market and what it's doing. What's the objective of the market? Okay, we have approached this with a much more quantitative side, where we're really just looking at the numbers. And when you start looking at these numbers, you know, in very high resolution, you just start to be able to measure things. You know, you can do pretty advanced stuff today with the technology we have. And, you know, I'm sure there's other institutions and so on that have access to the same technology that we have now. But it's definitely not public. I never seen anything close to this. So what we've done now is that by measuring what the market is doing on all the time frames in a very high resolution, we're able to find these consistent buying algorithms, buying programs, buying pressure, whether it's organic or it's a program, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. We're able to find these and how they execute. And when we overlay the time frames, we're able to see, you know, the different buying algorithms and selling algorithms that's active and how strong they are, how much inventory they have. And that kind of gives us an insight in what kind of deviation are we looking at right now in the market, right? And that is whenever these markets are doing what it's doing all the time, which is going up and down, right? Or sideways. So what we're doing with Neo Mode 1.1 is that we're measuring all these different time frames. We're measuring the trend, we're measuring the buying algorithms, all of this, and we're putting it into basically like a strength value, which you can see here. It's displayed, you know, 50-minute support, 39%. And that's just incredible, I think, because that's exactly what we wanted to do. You know, with XMod, the question was always, you know, in days was like, how many repeated trades? Do we take it on the, you know, do we take it on the first test? Now there's all these questions when we had the entries that we didn't really know the answers to. And now we have a much more narrow window into that decision. So I think this is going to change a lot of lives out there, but especially you guys who's watching right now and has been, you know, a start of it and beginning of it. Because this is everything you need now. Now we have an insight into basically the strength of the levels. What we can do next is that we can start to measure the, what can you say? We can start to measure the position sizes that we buy at each level according to how much confidence we have. And that's a really big step as well. But this in itself is really good. So right now I have these USD CHF positions on, and I think they're actually from last live stream or so, but they're working out very nicely. And you can also see USD CHF here, it's trending really well. Like you can see the forward trend, it had some, you know, it fizzled a little bit out here, lost some weight, but it's coming back up. Same with the 1 hour, and then 15 minutes, you can see it kind of breaks down just how the market has been behaving. And the time frame for this is, as you can see, it says up here, it's about 7 days, and we can kind of see what's been going on. And in the first row we have this called the driver right now, and it's really just what the price is doing like right now, you know. But just because the price goes up doesn't mean that we shouldn't sell it, and just because the price goes down doesn't mean we shouldn't buy it, right? It's just like the actual price. But then next what we have is we have the 1 minute trend, and you can see how it's been behaving. And then we have 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, 4, and so on. And essentially what we are looking for, if we want to make the most money and we want to do the best, I'm not saying you can't trade these markets which has, you know, a non-existing trend. Let's go have a look at here. You can't, definitely, and it's very sideways and so on. But the problem is with our current strategy where we scale our entries from 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, and 1 hour, right? So even if you're buying and selling, the problem is that when it has when the trend is non-existent, it can basically go 50-50 either way. And if you start selling at 1 minute and then it starts picking up steam, it will just take you out. So the problem is that, you know, it doesn't really work as well as when we have confirmed active buying or selling programs that we can use in our mean reversion strategy. And that's why we should just trade these markets that's doing really well. These should be the priority. And the same for these that's selling. These should be the priority. Because, for example, you can see, I don't know what the fuck oil is doing, but it's selling off hard. Ah, fuck. Here we go. You can see it's been selling off hard, and the thing is now, you know, it's in a short entry. We can take it here. We'll sell more at 5 minutes. We'll sell more at 15 minutes. The point is that we have much greater confidence to step in with size at 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or even 1 hour on these trending markets where we have the confirmed buying or selling programs active, because we know that they will kick in and they need to offload inventory. And if they don't need to offload inventory, someone else who bought a bunch down here needs to offload inventory. It's like, you know, it's a balance in the market. So it's much better for us to work with these trending markets. We have much greater confidence in them. So the strategy remains the same. We scale our positions. We use about 15% risk. But you see, I think it would be great to scale the position sizes also accordingly to the confidence and our calculated strengths, so that if you do take a trade on a market with, you know, not such an established trend, you can still trade it, you know, if for whatever reason you want to trade that. It's just that we scale the size accordingly. So if you do take a less, you know, you do take a trade with less probability to succeed, we shouldn't, you know, put that much money into it. We should put our money into the trades where we have great confidence. So let's start with the best trending markets, and then we'll move into other options if it's necessary. But the thing is, this is just forex. We will enable this as well on the stocks, you know, and the US daily market. I know it's gonna be great to trade, like absolutely great. It's definitely like a day-to-day operation, because you get in and get out before the close. But yeah, there's endless opportunities here, but this is just gonna be fucking amazing for people. So let's have a look. Let me see if there's any questions or anything. And yeah, welcome to the live stream, guys. So many names. So, New Zealand dollar CAD, as you can see, we have, it's getting dumped. So any kind of deviation up here, we would look to sell it. And even the 1 hour. The cool thing is that we also implemented for 5 minutes. So if you need a little bit more context, you can go to 5 minutes and you can see more of the history. You can see it's just been nuked. But you also have to remember that there is a tail effect. There's a tail effect to these markets, you know, where when they've been going down, you know, if you have multiple selling algorithms or entities that's selling an asset for like a month or something like this, you know, just completely dumping, there will be a tail effect where suddenly that liquidity just dries up and some buyer will step in and move the market, right? And that's what we need to work on as well, is trend transition, right? Like when the trends transition. And I think we have, like, I think I have a pretty good idea how to go about it just from how the index updates, because you can kind of see these markets moving around. We can see this is silver right now. And if we look at the history of silver, you can see that, okay, so it's been selling for some time, right? And now we see some buyers stepping in. And already that is different from when it's just continuously selling, right? So I would call this like the beginning of a trend, a potential trend transition, right? And that should already change the way that we go around trading silver in that time. The Academy coming for sure. Don't worry about that. It is absolutely essential, but I do think we've reached a level of simplicity for trading here that's pretty easy. I mean, I think next we're just gonna make it like click. You just click on the band and it places your trades, and then next, you know, it will automatically trade for you or something like that. Okay. So let's have a look at some other markets. So we've been trading a lot of AUD New Zealand dollar, and you know, there was these positions that we were in yesterday where we got pulled into this, and you can very much call this a selling program, right? Like that was a wave, but it wasn't only AUD New Zealand dollar, it was also AUD CAD, AUD everything else, right? And the point is that, you know, the reason that we get these entries is because that even the most trending markets get some kind of selling pressure when there's some bad news around it, right? It might just be temporary. It really depends on the trend. Like if the market is already uptrending and some negative news comes out, you know, it usually does a dive and then it recovers, right? But if the market is already trending down and some bad news comes out, it will accelerate that and it will dump it further, right? So you can see AUD New Zealand dollar recovered pretty well here, but I don't know about, you can see AUD CAD and AUD Singaporean dollar did not do so well, right? It has just continued down. There was no bounce. That would have been some sweet entries. Okay, let's have a look at gold. I don't think gold is doing too much right now. Let's have a look. Yeah, so the thing is, we don't really have like a consistent trend here on gold yet, right? It has been selling off for some time in the past, right? You can see it's just coming to an end now, and then we have this buying that's been going on and doing pretty well. 15-minute doing well, 5-minute, right? So how would we trade this? You know, if you are like a gold bull or, you know, whatever, like that's your market and so on. I think you could totally start buying here, but you just shouldn't buy with too much, right? You should use, you can see that what it says right here, it says 5%, right? So you should maybe use 5% or, you know, whatever. You need to have like a scale, right, of how much confidence you have in the trades, and then trade accordingly with your capital. But yeah, gold can totally start going up. It's at 1963. What the fuck? What happened to gold? It was doing very well. Last I saw it was like 1980 or something. I don't know. Okay, but that must have taken out a lot of people. That move must have taken out a lot of people on leverage. I guarantee it. So let's look at 5 minutes, see if we can get a little bit more context on gold right now. All right. So you can see even the selling trend hasn't been too strong, and you can see that by the opacity of the color, like how strong the color is. And you can just see like both the selling and buying person, it hasn't really looks like it hasn't been too strong, right? And now we see some buying coming in, so probably could go. There's no long-term trend really keeping it down here, so it could totally move. It could totally move to the upside. It could also fake out and dump hard. But I do think gold will go up. I do think gold versus the dollar will go up because they just announced to print another 4 trillion or whatever. It's ridiculous. It's fine. It's fine. Just buy Bitcoin, guys. So, what other markets should we have a look at? Anyway, so so what you do is you find a market that's trending well, like AUD CAD. Let's do AUD CAD. And then you just set your positions up, right? So whatever is your, the way that I think we should go about this, and I think this is what we'll do next. We'll put some stop loss automatically for you. But basically, you take the 1 hour, you take the 1 hour Newell band, then you go a little bit beyond, and that will be your stop loss. And then you just go here, place order, sell, and then you put in the stop loss 0.89291, right? And then you want to risk about, I think 1%, 1.5%, something like this. Look, you can do higher, you can do less. What I will say is that if you leverage too hard, you will get fucked no matter what. It just doesn't work then, the strategy, because you can't get those 1 hour fills. If you leverage too hard until you get, it just doesn't work. So we gotta respect the leverage. I think something like 1%, 1.5% around 1 minute is good. Maybe it should be more if we have like a trend like this where we're this confident in the trend. Maybe it should be more. We could double it or maybe even triple it, because I will tell you that whenever I've seen this, it's an absolutely murder scene. Let's see. Anyway, so I'm gonna put 1.5. That's fine. And then here I'm gonna click repeat order for the 5 minute, and it will automatically use the same stop loss here. And here we'll put something like 5 of these, and it should match roughly with the risk that we want to take. Let's have a look. Let's close these positions. They're irrelevant. Oh, I see. I got other orders. I was not aware of that. Anyway, AUD CAD, 7.2% risk. That's good. That's what we want. Actually, it's just cancel pending doing again. So let me just show you this one more time. Maybe I did a little bit too fast. You right click here, you click place order, sell, and then you put in the stop loss 0.89291, and then you want to have about 1%, 1.5%, something like this, and you click place, and you put it right here, right? And then you're gonna do the same. No, you're gonna do the same here. Repeat order. Repeat order. Here. Here. All right, and that should give us about 7% risk. And then what do you want to do next to calculate the 1 hour? I'm gonna click here, place order, sell. You want to put in your stop loss, and we need about 8% risk here. So we need this to go up to about 15%. So we'll see what is right. Yeah, so that's good. So we need half a lot in this 1 hour zone, and we'll just do it. We'll scale it by 0.1 lot. So repeat. All right, so that's a pretty good setup. Does say high risk. I think we're gonna adjust that in Navigator, because look, the overall risk when you're trading the strategy is not 15%, right? This is like 15%, 15.8% is like the maximum value that our account can lose from executing the strategy. It's like a backstop. It's safety net. It's a black swan protection event. It's like worst case 15%. Worst case 15% on account, I think that's fine. But this is not like a usual it's not like a usual drawdown or risk that you'll be taking when you're trading these strong trending markets. It will, most of the time, your risk will be limited to about, I don't know, 5%, 8% or something like that. So I think that's very important to note. Now, you know, these orders up here, you can pretty much, you don't have to update them that often, because the 1 hour is not going to change that much. 15 minutes as well, you don't have to update them that often, but you do have to update them. 5 minute, 1 minute, these you're gonna like follow, you know, these you're gonna actively update with the market like this, right? And that's what we're gonna work on as well, making that easy for you guys. So that's the setup. Let me know if any questions. How am I making decisions about entry points? Entry points are straightforward. You just you enter, you know, on the edges or in the middle, or depending on how much, you know, how many you have. If the market comes down, right? Like if this market comes down here now, let's say, sorry, up, and it's just like fucking around here like this, I will take this, I will take this order and move it down and get that entry. I will do that. And all we're looking for really when we're getting these entries, especially on 1 minute, like 1 minute, depending on exactly the strength of the driver, we either target the neutral or the next support down here, like that, right? It really depends on what kind of market. And for these 5 minutes, again, I think it's perfectly fine to target these bands that you see down here that's all stacked together. You can see that the 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, it's all stacked together. This is where you TP, right? So the edge here, so these 5 minutes ones, something like this. Let's set up a second market. Put in the stop loss here first, and then I will change the size value until I get something. I'm not sure I'd support. I'm just gonna do 0.02. That's fine. Then I'm gonna do the same here. Looks like I had a little bit too much risk. So that's 8. That's okay. All right. Okay. So now it's like fishing, you know? Now we put it, the bait in the water. And now we just wait. And it doesn't really matter how much this market pulls back either of these, because the strength of these combined timeframes with the mean reversion is incredible. It's just that you don't know when it kicks in. You will be taking these trades and you will watch the market just come down against you, and you're just like, this is crazy. You know, it looks crazy, and then it just turn around. And you'll be surprised. You'll gain confidence. This is, it's really good. It's really good. Okay, now second thing is that you kind of want to have your TPs already set for the 1 minute. You can see that it's coming up here now. Same here. AUD CAD, GBP CHF. Right, so we already want to have the TP set, because if we get an entry and the market, it might the same second touch back to our TP, you know, we'll take that. It happens sometimes. So you want to have that preset, but it's mostly for the 1 minute. Of course, once you start getting closer to the 5 minute, you want to add those TPs as well, so you're ready. Guys, is there any questions? Or is this just so simple and straightforward that that you just feel like you're ready to do it? I hope that's the case. So this is the job. I mean, you can't choose not to trade 1 minute. I've been thinking about this. Could you just take the 15-minute entries and the 1 hour entries? Yeah, you could. there's just so much money to be made here in the 1 minute time frame. That's the point. But you could just take the trades on the 1 hour, 15 minute on these highly trending markets. It's just, you know, maybe you will get a 1 hour trade maybe like once a month, because it's basically what we were doing before with the strategy mode. It's just that you don't get that many trades. Yeah, new mode 1.1 is being released today, guys. So the percentage in each time frame is simply the values from the new trend index powered by RTD3. So it's basically it's a strength value. It is our calculated strength of the current mean reversion that's active for that band, for that time frame. So if this market starts to go up and it goes, you know, higher than this level and so on, you will see that this value starts to decreases and so on. So you could set up another chart as well. What you really want to mostly pay attention to is just to make sure that you're not trading correlated markets, so you're taking too much risk across these markets. Now these two are two great markets to trade. USD/CHF, AUD/CAD. They have nothing to do with each other. That doesn't mean that volatility might not move them at the same time or together, but they're not inherently correlated. The goal of Breakfree Trading is I just want you guys to fucking win. Like, I just want you guys to succeed. I really think we have changed the game this time. This AI revolution, it's gonna change these financial markets, right? Everyone will have the same technology pretty much, I think, in the end, but it's just not right now. So during this transition, even the funny thing is, even people who have advanced robots, sometimes they cannot stop trading manually. And that's very interesting. All right, let's see. We're getting close to entries. AUD/CAD. So if you see the market, coming like this, right? Like slowly poking in like this, you can expect a wick, but meaning that you can you can expect a little bit bigger movement. So I'm gonna put up my limit a little bit here. Now this is okay to buy because this is not like a slow movement. This is pretty aggressive candle. So if I get this fill, I'm happy. Let's see. Come on. So it's fine. I want to get in here. There we go. That's our entry. So now the goal is just to make money from this trade, right? Like, I move my TP here right after I get the entry, just in case that the market does a quick move down, and I can basically catch that and repeat the trade one more time. But if it starts to consolidate or, you know, something like this here, then I'm happy to move it down a little bit more to the original target. It's just that if I could get a quick entry, that would be great. I mean, quick entry and exit. That's really like the bread and butter of what we're doing here. And the same is if this market starts coming up here, it's perfectly fine. And what we want to do is that when we get these entries, we just want to trade them in and out as much as we can as the market goes down. Because basically what happens with these markets is that they come with these deviations and they just basically do like a dump like this, right? And then they will, after that, they will do like this. And the goal is to capture that move, but while the move is coming down, you can see just missed this. If the same strategy that I applied here had been used over here and we got the entry, would have TP'd already and could have gotten another entry here, right? So in many ways, I think a little bit of this, like this was kind of the trade here, and I think maybe I want to move it down here. Because you can already see that the bands are updated. We already had activity traded here. So anyway, back to AUD CAD. The point is, what happens here essentially is that someone is starting to buy a lot, and maybe the market makers recognizes this, or you know, whatever happens, it's hard to know why. But what happens is that someone starts to buy a lot, the liquidity gets removed, and the market just does a big, you know, like a quick move, a quick short squeeze. A lot of people get stopped out. And the point is that we just want to capture that because we know that these selling programs come back online in this market, because we could see that with the AU. We saw that on the trend index. We know that they're active. So if we can trade this move, and as it's coming down, we trade in and out of the position multiple times and make profit during that, that's just more money. But if we get stuck in a position here and the market keeps going, it's perfectly fine. Because the goal is not really to make the most money here. This is just bread and butter. This down here is where we make, you know, this is where we make real money. This is where we make the money, you know, but it's just that you only get an opportunity down here like once a month, maybe 2 times a month on the 1 hour support in such a strong trending market. So you won't get this into too much, but when it comes, it's really important that you do capture the move down here, even if it doesn't get all the way to the 1 hour. It's important that you capture it. So that's a shame. You know, that's the thing. Sometimes you don't get these entries, right? But sometimes you do. And what you can't do is that you can't chase it too much, right? Like you can't start bidding up here, someone like that. What you can do is that you can take your position size, you can split it, and you can split it over the whole area, and you can try to get, you know, be a little bit more aggressive with the early ones, but you still buy the majority down here, right? So that's one way to go about it. All right, AUD CAD, what is it doing? I think this can go deeper, you know, but you know, you don't want to be too subjective with your bias here, because we're not doing directional trading, right? What we're trying to do is we're trying to get in and out of these positions and just make, you know, make money literally, and just keep doing it, because it really adds up. So that's it. I'm out of this trade. That's great. And then we just do it again. Oh, we just got a USD CHF. Oh, I guess some news, right? That's fine. We prepared for this. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Let's try to go for another entry on AUD CAD. Like if you do your homework good enough and you're only trading these strong trending markets, you do not have to be too concerned about volatility coming out of the blue. Like, to be honest, I think this TP could honestly go higher, but it's all right. Now we just do it again. So this is what you do. And I know, you know, maybe like $1,000 is you know, a small account or whatever. It's not about the account, because if you sit down and you do this and you do the math on the compounding effect of running the strategy and sitting down doing this work for like a few hours a day, yeah, that's where you can easily take it to a 10K account, a 100K account, $1 million. And that's where you will be, you know, sitting here and making, you know, real money. And even if you can't, you know, if you don't have capital, you can definitely get capital somewhere, or you can show someone the skills that you have to generate capital using your remote. It's like you are an incredible asset to anyone, you know, if you can generate money for them. So think about the process. If you go tell someone you can make 1% a day in the financial markets, you know, they will call you like a liar, because it's actually like a really incredible amount. But that is what we're doing here. And you can make more than 1% a day. You can see this turned out well. And now AUD CAD still going. That's fine. This is very classic, you know, you start to get a little bit left behind on a position. Something. It's okay. Like the size that we're trading here is tiny. The goal is for these 5 minutes positions to work out. And then the 15 minutes to work out. So yeah, this is the this is the game, guys. So if you look at the trending index right now, you can see that Euro USD, oil, and yeah, oil just bounced. So, you know, in the event, I really want to get in on this actually, but anyway, I'm gonna explain. So, Mike, in the event that AUD CAD keeps going up here, the 1 minute trades become irrelevant, because the amount of size that we're gonna enter with on the 1 hour and the 15 minute will completely outweigh the 1 minute and the the 5 minute. So the size that you're going to be trading with here will basically, when you get to around, when you get the bounce to around here, you'll be able to, maybe even here, you'll get break even, and here you'll make a decent profit and you'll just get out of it. And yeah, these positions will maybe lose, but these 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, they usually wins. So that's really the approach here. Is like, it doesn't really matter. Most of the time, these 1 minute trades, they will break even, or they will come back, but they are very profitable. I've run the back test now, and I can see that if you just use the opposite 1 minute band as a take profit, they generate a vast amount of money. Anyway, I think this was a good trade. I would love to get in on this trade. So something like this. Stop loss here. We also already have some risk on USD, so we do want to keep that in mind. But I don't think we have any filled position with USD. Philip says that he hasn't had any trades that goes deep yet. Well, we saw USD JPY do it about a few weeks ago, and it was a really good trade. See if we can find it. So you can see AUD CAD is taking care of itself. And I think this down here is a good target now, because I think that was kind of like the move for this bounce. I don't know, but that's just a gut feeling. And these 1 minute trades, they are very, it is very much based on like the price action, how you really trade them. But let's see if we can find this trade on USD JPY about a month ago. Oh, was it? All right, so you can see, is this the one I had in mind? No, that's just today. No. Well, in general, you can see it's responding really well to the 1 hour. That seems, and the reason that it seems to be 1 hour that responds really well, it seems to be like the leverage that needed to be wiped out is effectively wiped out around 1 hour. So yeah, I mean, if we had been prepared on Euro USD, and Euro USD could totally have been one of the markets that we looked at tonight, because it's you know, the trend is super great. You know, we would be sitting in great profit right now. So Emil is asking about if there any way we can see some backtest results with Nero like X Mode 6. Yeah, so I'm working on the backtest results and actually have finished them. And how do I put it? It's really good. It is really good. So you know, what is really helpful with the bot is its ability to, you know, execute like a trailing stop, a trailing take profit stop, I think it's called. And it just means, you know, very quickly the bot can get out of trades when the market starts to move against it, right? So if we are in profit right now on AUD CAT, and we have a minimum take profit value of, let's say, 0.1% or whatever the value is, that execution really helps, because sometimes you get, you know, moves like this. Maybe that's not the best example, but sometimes you get these spikes where you can just get entries, you know, easily, and the market will just continue down, right? Or it will be like a temporary spike or a short squeeze or whatever, and you can get the entry and you can ride that trade for quite a while you still have a trading stop. So the results, of course, from this in the backtesting seems really impressive. So impressive that I think I need to have another look at it to see if I made any mistakes somewhere. That's great. Yeah, so that's the thing, you know. We gotta, you know, try to figure out how long to stay in the trades. That's really the tricky part, right? Like, is it the volatility spike that we see, you know, the pullback? What kind of pullback is that? That's a question we need to answer somehow. So yeah, I will be releasing the backtest for neural mode. It's just that it takes a lot of time to code like a complete backtesting framework for neural mode. And we're busy guys. There's so many other things to do. But yeah, I think it's very important. But I think even without the backtest results, you can look at this and you can see how profitable it is just by looking. Like, you can just look at the interaction. You can just look at the interaction with, you know, how the price moves accordingly to the call of the bands, you know, and if it's like it's doing really well. But yeah, of course, backtesting results would be a really nice touch to it, and it's coming. All right, how is AUD CAT doing here? We are running short on time, guys. That's good. Everyone is printing money. So, you know, I will say that I have thought a lot about the pricing for neural mode. And And I thought all about like, what do we actually need to do here? And for some people, you know, it's a very high price to pay, but for other people, it's a tiny amount of money compared to how much money they will make with Nero mode. So I'm trying to figure out like exactly how do we price this, you know, going forward the best way possible. And I think it's something that looks like a collaboration between Breakfree Trading and then the people that execute with our tools. Maybe some kind, maybe people pay for Nero mode, but then once they have made back the price of Nero mode, they pay like a 10% fee on their profits or whatever, because I know people are gonna make so much fucking money from this. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, enjoy how it works and the ability to extract money from this right now, because I think you'll find out that it's just absolutely killer, and you'll make a crazy amount of money from this. I'm not joking at all. So yeah, maybe some collaboration between traders and Breakfree Trading where we calibrate an AI to help you execute trades, something like this. Oh, look at that. That's just fucking amazing. And look, it's all in our direction. You know, this is all according to our algorithms and where they're saying the market's gonna head. Beautiful trade. Look, this is fucking great tech, guys. I don't know what to say. I think you're genuinely gonna become a millionaire from this if you just spend all your time on this. I think you'll make so much money. You don't even need a bot. The bot is nice and the bot will come for sure. But I'm just saying, like, this is the best fucking trading strategy I've seen. The current RTD's ability to detect buying and selling programs and letting you use that advantage, showing you where to buy, where to sell, how much to buy, how much to sell, where to take profit. You know, I advise you to just don't over leverage and then just go make as much money as you can. That's really it, guys. I think this update, okay, so finally, I think this update is gonna go live in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, something like this, like a few minutes, very soon, very soon. So that's it for this, guys. That's it for this, guys. Thank you for coming to the live stream. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that usual stuff. And yeah, stay tuned. I think Neo Mode 1.1 drops tonight. Soon. Very soon. Okay, that's it.